TG Geeks episode 380, May 30th, 2022. Let's do the time warp again. Hello and welcome to another webcast from tggeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the Two Gay Geeks, talk about all aspects of Geek-dom and Nerd-ery, sci-fi, comics, film, horror genre. You name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane. We're coming to you from the time-shifted TG Squared Studios in lovely Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, I was wondering why the whole time warp thing, but now that you mention it, yes, we are time-shifting.
Once again.
Yes, because, this afternoon we're heading down to Phoenix downtown for the Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Yeah.
And I'm Ben Raggington, also coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, we've got all of everything scheduled and doing the episode early, so that way we don't have to do anything in the hotel room. So
Yay!
We're going to get on with it.
Prepare for hyperdrive.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Episodes, the Two Gay Geeks are discussing this.
Well, this time we have a couple of things that we are going to talk about.
It's just us.
It's just us. Ben has a couple of articles that look interesting. We have our birthday shout-outs, our featured podcast of the week, and we've got some feedback.
A little bit. We're running out of feedback, by the way.
And a few shout-outs. And then the second segment, we have something important that we wish to talk about. And then we have our wacky weekly recap and our regular shout-outs. So let's just get on with it with this funky music. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, very good tuba bass line there. I'm impressed.
Well,
yeah, got a few stories
here.
This one, pardon me if I'm clearing my throat. It's for some reason I cannot shake these allergies for whatever reason. Anyway, this is an interesting story that came from the Hollywood Reporter. I still don't quite know what to think of it. And the headline reads,
Stan Lee returns to Marvel Studios
with Genius Brands. Pow! Entertainment licensing deal exclusive. And the byline says the 20-year deal includes future appearances in Marvel movies and TV series, along with apparel and theme park experiences. Now, of course,
when was this dated?
This article, May 18th of this, just last May 18th.
So okay.
Why?
Are they going to exhume him or something?
Well, I tell you.
Or are they just going to have a cardboard cutout of him and stand it there?
Hey, that's not a bad idea, you know. But, Stan Lee was such he was such a figure when it came to pop culture, and especially when the Marvel movies, the Marvel cinematic movies started coming out, he was like everywhere in them. And it became like, where's Waldo almost? People were looking to see where he was going to show up. And then sadly the man passed away. And we haven't seen much of him, obviously. So here's what the article reads. And again, this is Hollywood Reporter saying, in a unique deal, Stan Lee, the beloved co-creator of Spider-Man, Avengers, and Hulk, who died in 2018, is returning to Marvel Studios. Marvel has signed a 20-year deal with Stan Lee Universe, a venture between Genius Brands International and POW Entertainment, to license the name and likeness of Lee for use in future feature films and television productions, as well as Disney theme parks, various experiences, and merchandising. And the CEO of Genius Brands says it really ensures that Stan, through digital technology and archival footage and other forms, will live in the most important venue, the Marvel movies and Disney theme parks.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of like a little puzzled by the. I mean, what exactly does this all entail? I mean, are we going to get CGI Stan?
CGI Stan.
I didn't quite know what to make of it, and there's just two little things also from this article that I want to share. The deal does give Marvel permission to use Lee's name, voice, likeness, and signature in movies and television projects. Signature? Interesting.
Okay.
As well as use images, existing footage, and existing audio recordings featuring him. The rights to use Lee's name, voice, likeness, and signature exclusively in theme parks, cruise lines, and in-park merchandise were also included in the deal. Audiences and park goers could see Lee turn up as figures and toys and on apparel and stationery. So, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
But it's this last thing that makes me say, whoa. The audience revered Stan. And this is also from the CEO, oh, good grief, of Genius Brands, says, the audience revered Stan, and if it's done with taste and class and respectful of who he was, use of likeness, it will be welcomed. He is a beloved personality, and long after you and I are gone, he will remain the essence of Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
He was the force behind Marvel for many years. So
again,
since the 60s.
Yeah, I agree that it needs to be done with some semblance of taste. Otherwise, it could turn into a really ugly joke.
Yeah, hopefully it won't get into the tasteless side of it.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
I still say they missed a golden opportunity when what was it in? I can't remember which one where the Thor's hammer was on the
ground. Well, or in the crater?
No, not in the crater, but on the coffee table, and everybody was trying to lift it up.
That's
Stan was
that's
the
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, he was the janitor guy, and it would have been great him after hours and picks it up and dusts under it and then puts it down.
Oh yeah, yeah,
that would have been perfect.
That would have been funny.
Oh well.
Yes. So now
I don't work for Marvel. So.
Yeah. We don't work for Disney.
Yeah. Anyway,
moving on. And we got more Disney/Marvel news here. Now, we had a really lovely cameo in the last Spider-Man film where Charlie Cox's Daredevil. Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox's slash.
Yeah. Charlie Cox's Daredevil was
Charlie's Chocolate Factory Daredevil.
Yeah. This also became a Willy Wonka movie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll quit tormenting you.
Yeah, thank you. Daredevil appeared in Spider-Man: No Way Home, and it wasn't so much as Daredevil as it was Matt Murdock, the attorney, who was going to be helping Peter because of his exposure as Spider-Man. So a lot of people got really excited about it and said, oh my gosh, does that mean he's now part of the MCU? Well, technically, yes, Matt Murdock is. And you could say Daredevil was too because he caught a flying brick. That was a spoiler for anybody who has not seen the new Spider-Man No Way Home.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Charlie Cox's Daredevil.
You've ruined the movie.
I know. How long has that movie been out? Doesn't matter. And this was reported on The Direct. Charlie Cox's Daredevil has seen an impressive surge in popularity over the past couple of years after his own solo Netflix series ended in 2018. And arguably, of the Defenders, he was probably the most popular one. He was my favorite. Prompting calls for a season 4 or a potential revival on Disney+. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige confirmed in December 2021 that Cox would play the role if and when Daredevil officially enters the MCU, which came to fruition only days later with Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
So fans are still wondering if and when Cox will get to fully revisit his role as Matt Murdock / Daredevil again in his own series. Well, the latest news concerning the series is to be believed that date may be not too far away. Variety revealed that Marvel Studios is officially moving forward with a new Daredevil series set to stream on Disney+.
Yeah, the series got pretty dark.
Well, part of that is because, that was not under Kevin's purview. He wasn't.
That was Joe Esposito.
Yeah.
Right?
No, not Esposito. I can't think of the other guy who was. The name escapes me. There was somebody else who was handling the television side of things that feuded with Kevin in a really bad way, and that's why when we were first getting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there was this announcement saying it's all connected. Well, the guy who was Perlmutter, that guy
maybe.
He decided to take it in a completely different direction, all the television stuff, so that it bore little resemblance at all to what we were seeing in the movies. And sadly, that kind of happened with the Netflix shows. And because it was Netflix, it did afford them the luxury of going dark. And boy, was it dark.
It was.
So, and there was initially some talk, is this going to be a completely new reboot? Or is this going to be a continuation of what we were getting in the Netflix shows? And the official word is, this is now a continuation, and I feel a little weird about that.
Yeah.
Only because, and I know I'm really picking nits here in the worst way, so forgive me. In Daredevil, the president of the United States was Obama. But in the Marvel movies, it was not. I can't think of the president's name, but it was played by William Sanderson. Not William. Yeah, William Sanderson, I think, is the actor's name. So, yeah, not Obama in the movies, Obama in the Daredevil series. I know, I'm picking nits. Get over it. So,
no Obama.
Yeah, no Obama. So, in any case, it will be nice to see Daredevil back. And, of course, we did get, oh, good grief, I can't think of his name anymore. Vincent D'Onofrio's character.
Yeah.
Shoot, I am just blank.
Hulk smash.
Yeah, no, not Hulk smash. Shoot. Anyway, his character, as we saw him in, oh good God, what did we see him in? We saw him in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was brought back. I'm so ashamed that I cannot recall his, Kingpin. Thank you. Kingpin. So there's going to be more Kingpin versus Daredevil in this new series. How violent it will get is anybody's guess. So there is that. Now this one just broke the other day. Keith and I are unabashedly fans of the Wachowskis' adaptation of Speed Racer.
Well, and I have to admit that as a child, I had such a crush on Speed Racer.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
Crush on a cartoon.
Yeah.
What?
Well, that's how well he was drawn very well. Yeah. So then the Wachowskis came along and they did what I would consider to be a live anime with the very stylized filmmaking that they did. And you and I, we loved that movie.
I thought it was great.
I adored it.
The colors were so...
Oh, they made my eyes bleed.
Yeah.
I mean, they were fantastic. Well, the movie was a bomb. It did not make back any of its money. It didn't make any kind of a profit at all. It only took in $93 million US, and that's on a $120 million budget. So, ouch. There's no wonder it didn't. And I'm bummed that it didn't catch on. However, it is coming back, and so take this with a grain of salt. Speed Racer developing new Apple TV Plus series with J.J. Abrams. Yeah. That means lens flares.
Lens flares.
Yeah, Speed Racer's at it again after making a big screen debut in Hollywood years ago. The hit anime is ready to shift into gear once more, but for Apple TV Plus this time. Bad Robot is working on a live-action TV series based on Speed Racer, and it promises to put... oh boy, a new spin on everyone's favorite thrill seeker. Yeah, as Deadline reports, the Apple TV Plus project will not tie in to the previous adaptation of the movie. The series will shift focus under writers Hera Martinez, who worked on Snowpiercer, and Ron Fitzgerald, who worked on Westworld. The report suggests a writer's room is now being filled on the project. Martinez and Fitzgerald will lead the group as executive producers and co-showrunners to boot.
A Westworld Speed Racer.
Oh, my. Ooh, no thank you. No thank you.
With lens flares.
With lots and lots of lens flares. We really don't know anything else about it. It just, I mean, there's just a little, the article has some background, and this was reported on comicbook.com. The rest of the article just gives some information on the origins of Speed Racer. And so naturally, there's not a lot to report because this is really news. I mean, new news.
New news.
Yeah, it's new news as opposed to old news. So there's not much to tell at this point.
New.
Right.
News.
So as we learn more, I'm sure we will be reporting more. But I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know what to think of it. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not been the biggest fan of JJ's reboots. So that's just me.
We'll see.
We'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, that's kind of some of the news items that we came across this past week.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Patricia Chica, director, producer of Morning After.
And I'm Christian Hotko, writer and actor of Morning After. And you're listening to the Two Gay Geeks podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody like the music?
Yeah.
I like it.
I know you do.
I love it.
And it's nice to hear Patricia's voice. She's currently, as of this recording, she's in France at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yes, and she sent me an email this morning early and said that she has several people that are interested in speaking with us.
Yes!
So
nice.
We had a big snafu with FedEx with something that was supposed to be delivered overnight and just was delivered yesterday. 2 weeks late.
It finally got there.
That she was supposed to take with her to Cannes to represent us, but the United States Postal Service package that I sent on May 3rd has yet to arrive.
Oh my goodness.
It's just going to Canada. It's going to Montreal.
Hey, I
could have walked there.
I ordered something from Southern California last week and asked for it to be delivered two-day delivery by UPS. It's almost been a full week, and I haven't gotten it yet.
Win.
Nope.
Well, anyway, here's a few selected birthdays for May 30th through June 5th, 2022. Adele Dazeem.
You mean Idina Menzel?
Oh, yes. There we go. And then we have Mel Blanc, voice actor, man of 1,000 voices, worked exclusively for Warner until 1960, voicing almost every cartoon character that studio created.
I know. The man was brilliant.
Just all of them. He worked for others and voiced a number of characters on the Flintstones and was actually the voice of Toucan Sam for Fruit Loops.
I think I heard that somewhere and just forgot.
Yep. Michael J. Pollard, actor. Bonk Bonk John.
Oh, yes.
He was also in an episode of Lost in Space.
Yes, he was.
And little bits and parts here and there. Oh, my gosh. He was Scrooged as Herman, the guy that froze to death.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Herman. And then we have good friend of ours, Shoshana Tanser. Happy birthday, Shoshana. May 31st, Chien Chung Wu was a Chinese-American particle and experimental physicist who made significant contributions in the fields of nuclear and particle physics. Wu worked on the Manhattan Project, where she helped develop the process of separating uranium into U-235 and U-238 isotopes by gaseous diffusion. She's best known for conducting the Wu experiment, which proved that parity is not conserved. Her expertise in experimental physics evoked comparisons to Marie Curie.
I'm trying to think of that. What was that? Disparity is not conserved?
Parity.
Oh, parity. Parity is not conserved.
Yep.
I got to think about that.
Yeah. Then we have Charles Greeley Abbott. He was an American astrophysicist and the 5th secretary of the Smithsonian Institution, serving from 1928 to 1944. He had been the director of the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory to becoming assistant secretary to secretary over the course of his career. As an astrophysicist, he researched the solar constant, which led him to invent the solar cooker, the solar broiler, and the solar still.
Wow.
and other patent solar
Talk
energy
about,
inventions.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. He was able to parlay that into profit.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I like the solar still.
Yeah.
That's good.
Far out.
And then we have friend of ours, Stephanie Weipert. Happy birthday, Stephanie. June 1st, Jonathan Pryce. Actor, very long and illustrious career on both stage and screen. Notably as Juan Perón in Evita, I believe on stage and in the film.
Indeed.
And in Game of Thrones, he was the giant starling, or what was it?
Oh, I don't. I
High
know,
Sparrow.
High Sparrow. Oh, yeah. That was about that time I lost interest in the show.
Yeah, and recently in Slow Horses.
Yes.
That he was great there. And then Renee Abegenois. Who can forget Renee? Oh, my gosh.
Certainly can't.
Lots of TV and a ton of voiceover pieces that he did. And most notably as Odo in DS9.
Yes.
And he played President James Buchanan.
Oh, God, that was so
in
good.
Raising Buchanan, a local Arizona film.
That was delightful.
That was a wonderful film. I loved that film. And he taught acting at Juilliard.
Oh, did he?
Yes. And then we have Tom Holland, as we spoke of him earlier, Mr. Motormouth, who can't keep his mouth shut.
No.
And good friend of ours, Jennifer Johnson Cano. She's an opera singer, and she's in St. Louis, I think, this week, and doing Verdi's Requiem. And
was it the Requiem?
I
thought it was Otello.
Otello, yes, she's doing Otello. Sorry. She was actually one of the Rhine maidens in the Ring Cycle.
Yes,
well.
you can. If you look up the Robert Lepage production of Wagner's Ring Cycle, you will see her in Das Rheingold.
Yes. And then we have a friend of ours, Mark Jones. June 2nd, Morena Baccarin, actress. She was Anna in V.
Yes.
She was in Deadpool.
Yes.
She was in Firefly / Serenity.
Yep.
Among other things. And recently was Elena Fedorova in The Endgame.
Ah, she was wonderful in that.
And as the voice of Gideon
yes,
in Flash.
In The Flash, yes.
Yeah. Kevin Feige, head of Marvel Studios, president of Marvel Studios, as a matter of fact, has produced every Marvel Cinematic Universe film. Got started with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films of all things.
Ah, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Justin Long, I Am a Mac.
Oh, yes.
And the guy in Galaxy Quest.
Well, I remember
who was you.
Yeah, he was me. That was me in Galaxy Quest you were looking at. Yeah. My brother who saw Galaxy Quest, he didn't see it with me. He saw it on his own. But I met up with him later, and he said, okay. And then he pointed to me and said, you are in that movie. And I am? And he says, yeah. And I saw your friend Bill. I saw your friend Corey. And then he named out all my geeky friends from a high school. And he said, you guys are all in this movie. And I'm the Justin Long character.
Yep. June 3rd, Penelope Wilton, actress, Harriet Jones, MP.
Yes.
A very well-known British TV actress. Doctor Who, Downton Abbey, Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. I just love her. She's great. She's delightful.
I love her best in Doctor Who.
Yeah, she plays all across the gamut of different, characters and emotions and whatnot.
She's also great fun in the Downton Abbey series.
Yes. And then we have James Purefoy, actor, was in Altered Carbon, which I wish they would bring back, but I doubt that that's
that first
happen.
season was awesome, but the second season, for some reason, apparently kind of lost people. Who did he play?
He was the billionaire that had...
from the first season?
Yeah, from the first season.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he's also in Discovery of Witches.
Ah.
June 4th, Rosalind Russell. I adore her. Star of stage and screen, a number of films in the 30s and 40s, most notably His Girl Friday. And she was also in Gypsy as the mother of Gypsy Rose Lee. And in my favorite role, Auntie Mame. Everybody needs an Auntie Mame.
Absolutely.
She died 3 weeks after Patrick Dennis, the author of
Auntie really?
Mame. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Unfortunately died of breast cancer.
Oh, what a shame.
That's a sad thing. James Callis, actor, Battlestar Galactica, Eureka, Picard most recently, and also Blood and Treasure, which is it in production right now?
Oh, no, the second season is done.
It's
It
done,
was just held up.
Yeah.
But we got a word from Michael Chan, who we interviewed a month or so ago. He is appearing in one episode in the second season, and all he could tell us is that, well, it's kind of stuck now. But he just announced like a week or so ago that the second season has been given the green light in terms of broadcasting.
Cool. And then we have a friend of ours, Ross Ozarka, who we interviewed.
Oh, yes.
He did the cutout,
It was a
cutout,
cardboard cutout animated Shakespearean movie that the friend of my enemy, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, the friend of my enemy that I killed is my boyfriend's girlfriend's
something like that. Yeah,
mother's ex-wife.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's a very sordid title.
Yeah, it's great though. I loved it. And then friend of ours, Neil Douglas, and Joe Boudry, who is the director of programming for.
We might see him in a couple of days.
Phoenix Fan Fusion. June 5th, Dennis Gabor was a Hungarian-British electrical engineer and physicist, most notable for inventing holography, or holograms, for which he later received the 1971 Nobel Prize in Physics. He obtained his British citizenship in 1934 and spent most of the rest of his life in England. And then we have Jan Zabat-Zinn, an American professor emeritus of medicine and the creator of the Stress Reduction Clinic and Center for Mindfulness in Medicine, Healthcare, and Society at the University of Massachusetts Medical School. Kabat-Zinn was a student of Zen Buddhist teachers such as Philip Kapleau, Thich Nhat Hanh, and Seung San, and founding member of the Cambridge Zen Center. His practice of yoga and studies with Buddhist teachers led him to integrate their teachings with scientific findings. He teaches mindfulness, which he says can help people cope with stress, anxiety, pain, and illness. The stress reduction program created by Kabat-Zinn, mindfulness-based stress reduction, is offered by medical centers, hospitals, and health maintenance organizations, and is described in his book, Full Catastrophe Living. Amazing. And then we have
Tim Calloway.
Well,
an old friend of mine from junior high school who has really he used
quite the voice actor and actor now too.
He had when I was reunited with him, he was working in the Las Vegas Bureau for Tourism and decided that he retired from that and wanted to do something more of a creative nature, so he started doing voice acting and now has actually started to appear as an extra on TV shows and movies.
Yep.
So good for you, Tim.
And then Gary Baum Wilkes and our neighbor Ramon Quintana. He's one of the first people we met when we moved into this house.
He was the first person I met.
Yep.
He walked. We were unloading stuff, and he walks up to me with a bottle of wine and said, "Just wanted to welcome you to the neighborhood."
Oh, cool. And that's it for the birthdays this time.
Technorama, the podcast for geeks, because geeks are better than cool. You don't hear someone say, "Get away from me, you cool person." Who's gonna have their 65-inch home theater system installed by the Cool Squad? Not me, that's for sure. How much cool cred do you have? Not enough to care about. Think you'll find any canned unicorn meat at thinkcool.com? It's just a part domain name. They don't even have roadkill in a paper cup. That's why you need to start listening to Technorama, because that's what geeks do. Go to chuckchat.com and listen to Technorama before you turn cool.
Go give a listen to our friends Chuck and Craig over at Technorama Podcast.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I believe that reaching out for help is the bravest thing a person can do. If you are struggling and need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. It's free and confidential, and trained counselors are there to listen 24/7 without judgment. To learn more about the Trevor Project's life-saving work for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning young people, go to thetrevorproject.org.
We want to give a shout out, as always, to the Joshua Tree Feeding Program, a 501c3 nonprofit food pantry for the HIV and AIDS community in Maricopa and Pinal counties. Joshua Tree offers a place where clients can select from a wide assortment of nutritional foods to take home. They set it up like a store so that the clients can pick and choose what they want and nothing is wasted. Joshua Tree has a second distribution for those in the gender non-conforming community that may be experiencing food insecurity regardless of HIV status. They're an all-volunteer organization and could use your support right now. If you wish to give a single or a monthly recurring gift, you can go to jtfp.org.
And it's time for our feedback. These are comments that we received on various places, mostly Facebook. And these comments were generated as a response from articles and episodes that we ran on our website at tggeeks.com. And the links for each of these will be in the show notes for this episode number 380 at tggeeks.com. And I should point out, we are running out. There is, I've got like maybe 4 or 5 bits of feedback left in the queue, and then we are out.
Come on, Arkle.
Yeah. Well, we did get something from Arkle in response.
Well, we always get something
from but
Arkle.
We would love to get more feedback from people.
Hamish, don't be afraid.
Yeah. So anyway, starting off, regarding 20th Century Studios' release trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water. Dear friend of mine, Julie Marshall, she wrote the response, "Can't wait."
Abattoir, The Way of Water.
Abattoir, God. That's good. Yeah, as filmed by Sam Peckinpah.
Yeah.
Moving on, regarding TG Geeks episode number 375, we got a comment from a wonderful person on Twitter named Jessica, who is a huge fan of Katie Edwards' work, of the tarot sequence, basically. And Jessica writes, "I'm so excited you guys are having Katie back on to talk about the Hourglass Throne. I know everyone's going to be looking forward to it, and we're talking about a very spoilery interview." Spoilerific. That's coming up probably about July at some point. Yeah. And then moving on, regarding TG Geeks episode number 378, we got a comment from Janine Berryman. She says, "Thank you for the birthday shout out. You guys are terrific." And lastly, from Joseph Gaxiolo, who says, "Thank you for the birthday wishes and the wonderful birthday dinner. I adore Ben and Keith at TG Geeks."
If you want to leave a comment on anything that we publish, whether it be an article or just one of our episodes, you can do that on Facebook, where everything is published. You can go to Twitter and Instagram, or you can go to tggeeks.com, as well as if you want to just comment on the episodes, you can go to YouTube, where you can listen to those. And Joseph likes to listen on YouTube because it doesn't time out on him. So that's a neat little thing. We also have a listener feedback line that you can call and leave us a voicemail. We would love to hear from you. You can call 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. And as always, please play nice.
For more than 2 decades, Judy and Dennis Shepard have honored their son Matt by working to erase hate around the world. The Matthew Shepard Foundation honors his legacy by inspiring the good work of activists, teachers, artists, and legislators, and everyday LGBTQ+ folks and their allies. Join us today in helping to erase hate. Visit MatthewShepard.org.
Thank you to Comcast NBC Universal for that promo. As we always talk about, we are huge supporters of independent creators, whether it's filmmakers, comic book artists, writers, or others. We are going to see a ton of them this weekend. And we even had to go to the ATM, and get some money so that we can walk around and have cash for those independent creators. If you are at a convention, a book fair, or you see them online or their Etsy page, talk to them. Talk to other people about their stuff. Buy their stuff. Please consider supporting independent creators. If you are trans or are questioning your gender identity, and if you are in crisis or are feeling isolated and need someone to talk to, or you know of someone in a similar situation, there is a special hotline just for you. The hotline is provided by translifeline.org and staffed by trained counselors who are transgender themselves. The hotline in the U.S. is 877-565-8860. In Canada, it is 877-330-6366. Or you can go to translifeline.org to learn about the important work they are doing. Please reach out for help. You are not alone.
Yeah, baby. They're like two gay geeks. They're together, you know. They're two gay guys and they're geeks. Is that okay?
Okay, time for our second segment. Now
We actually do have some time this time.
Yeah, we do, and
for a moment.
And I'm glad because this just broke, and this is not happy news. Now, people know that I'm a huge fan of the band Yes, and they're still touring, and they were getting ready to do I think Close to the Edge cruise show. And Alan White, their longtime drummer since the mid '70s, he had to step down. For health reasons. Someone else is going to take over. Well, this just broke. Alan White just died.
Oh my gosh.
He was 72.
Wow.
He just passed away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And this was reported an hour ago. I'm really shocked by this. He was an unbelievably nice man, an incredible drummer. So yeah, this is really sad news that we just lost him. That's now two members of Yes that have that are now playing in that great Gig in the Sky. He's preceded by bassist Chris Squire, and Chris and Alan were like the best of friends. So there's that. Anyway, so I suppose on to cheerier stuff.
Yeah.
Last night we caught the final theatrical screening of the 4K director's edition of Star Trek The Motion Picture. This movie, at least this 4K version, has been a long time coming.
In the theater.
In the theater, they the director's cut was put together in early 2000 under the careful care of director Robert Wise, but the visuals were not rendered at high definition. They were rendered at a rather low definition. High def was not really a thing quite at that time. So then there was a lot of demand for it as later shows were being remastered in high definition, 4K. So Paramount was being lobbied heavily by the fans to give Star Trek The Motion Picture the loving care that it deserves. And they finally released it. It came out on First Contact Day, on the Paramount Plus network. We got to watch that. I was very excited to see it, but we got to see it on the big screen. There was like 3 or 4 days where Fathom Events was showing it, and we got to see it. And this is the first time I've seen it on the big screen since 1979.
Yeah, same for me. I saw it once in the theater, and that was it. And all the other times I've seen it on TV.
Yeah, it came out in '79, December of 1979, and I very much enjoyed it, but I never went back to see it in the theater. I didn't have a car. I couldn't get around much at that time, so it was hard for me to catch it. And it did not have wide distribution either for whatever reason. So I never saw it again. Last night as of this recording, was the first time I got to see it again. Holy smokes. It looked great. Wow.
It looked great. And they did something with the sound as well.
Oh, the sound was amazing.
Yeah, so the soundtrack, Jerry's soundtrack was incredible.
It was so beautiful to listen to. I mean, you get that initial boom boom of the opening theme, and it hit you right in the chest. And I thought, oh, this is going to be good.
Yep.
And visually, it sparkled. It was so beautiful to look at. I saw things that I've never noticed before because they were so small in detail that I saw them for the first time last night. It was just amazing. How did you feel watching it last night?
I was excited again to see it, even though we just saw it recently. It was good to see it on the big screen. There are some films that really, just need to be seen on the big screen, and that is one of them.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it a lot.
I was distressed that there were only, and based on my count, counting the two of us, only 11 people in that theater last night. Well, it was a Wednesday night, and it was the last night they were doing these showings. They started showing them as of last weekend. So it's possible that a lot of people already had gone to see it. I don't know, if they were doing more showings, I would probably try and see those as well, because it was a joy to see it. I loved it. I realize I'm a bit of a heretic in calling that one my favorite Trek movie. Most people don't like it, but there it is.
Well, I thought it was good.
It
was very interesting.
It was beautiful, and I think it'll help me appreciate the streaming version that Paramount Plus has. I think I can watch that again and be able to appreciate the film with, I don't know, a lot more heartfelt emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's time for our weekly review. These are items that we ran on our website at tggeeks.com this past week, and the links for each of these stories, as well as the stories we talked about in our first segment, will also have their links in this episode article number 380 at tggeeks.com, starting with Sunday, May 22nd, Nerdy Chupacabras number 101.
101.
On Monday the 23rd, TG Geeks episode number 379. On Tuesday the 24th, Andrea's Angle, Emergency, Wild and Unexpectedly Insightful. On Wednesday the 25th, Define brings Crypto to Cannes. On Thursday the 26th, Drinks with Authors returns to Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Hooray!
On Friday the 27th, Hamish Downey's News Sushi number 124, morsels of news from Japan and beyond. And we close off the week, Saturday the 28th, Thor, Love and Thunder in theaters July 8th. We have some shout-outs that we need to make. First to Brian Weber, our good friend, also known as Arkle. He's on Twitter as Geek of All Trades, and that is at the letter G, the number 3, the number 3, the letter K of All Trades, Geek of All Trades. He's also referred to as Brian the Ampersand List YouTuber. We mention him because he has his Arkle Times Post-Dispatch News, which does republish some of our content from time to time. So that's why we give the shout out. So if you want to find the Post-Dispatch News, look for Brian the Ampersand List YouTuber, and you will find him. And while you're looking for all things Arkle, go to his YouTube channel. That would be youtube.com/Arkle Studios. He has a number of projects there. He has his Shameless Cash Grab series, which is in Season 7, his Rants vs. Zombie series. Now, the series is over, but past episodes are still there. He also has Arkle Tier Ranks, as well as game videos of Trick and Treat, as well as Star Trek Online. We must also give some shout-outs to a couple of Facebook groups for allowing us to post our episodes and relevant articles on their pages. First, to Gay Geeks After Hours. When I approached their moderators asking if we could share our content there, they said, oh, share away! And we thank them for that. And their URL is facebook.com/groups/Gay Geeks After Hours. That is all one word. And then to The Gay Geek for pretty much the same thing. And their URL is facebook.com/groups/The Gay Geek. And as always, we give special thanks to their moderator, Jeremiah Reeves.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Other places we can be found are Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Amazon Podcasts, as well as where other fine podcasts can be found. Also, check us out on Sci-Fi Radio at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on Tuesdays for a replay. And listen to their other content. They are a 24-hour geeky internet radio station. Please rate us and review us on iTunes. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And come see us at Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Yes.
Exhibitor Hall, booth D118. And that should do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Be sure to check out the article for the webcast episode. We'll have several links on the page of things we talked about. And remember, you can comment on our Facebook page or our website, tggeeks.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357 from TG Squared Studios. I'm Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. Please be kind to yourself and those around you. Stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated. Peace.
Cheers.
Come see us, D118.